Big pharma set it up, had to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in the field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Took the way you saw the world, then distorted it. Now you think you wanna rock that twirl, somewhere orbiting. Theories disproportionate, the truth distorted quick with a forceful grip. They force a misinfo that we absorbing quick. Took the people's signature to mean extorted it. They forging it, if news anchors informant to informing them. There's a surplus, but they tell us there are shortages. Credit economy mortgages, dollar that's supported with empty fortresses. But what's important is this, we courting ships important. Yes, of course it is, but extortion is in accordance with an assortment list of foreign tricks we ignoring, which informing this, informing this. It looked like we were snoring tricks. Pedophilia and the government endorsing it. Yeah, eugenics is exactly what abortion is. You just vilify those insubordinate. Way to matrix engineer, that's unfortunate. Geopolitically, we in a field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers actors say they high, say they sip with pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up just to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real?
Oh, what up, guys? In a world where no one knows what the world is, who will prevail? Yahshua, because he comes back bringing fire and a sword to divide. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so let's just get straight into it. Power of the tongue. So we're going to scripturally support this, and we are going to scientifically support this. And there's a lot of power in the tongue. So I'm actually going to read out some of the donations in between the streams. If you don't know, this is the backup channel. WitsitGetsIt got struck on my first video back, of course, because the grabblers hate when you speak the truth. Or it may just be because I'm some crazy conspiracy theorist that doesn't talk about anything important, so they forcibly censor us. That's a cool story. So shout out to all the people that have shown love and supported. So the first stream back finished up around 1 or so, and then was struck and taken off by 7 in the morning. And actually was struck before then, but they had not taken it down for about an hour. Anyway, they're not going to stop us. Support what you like or it goes away. We're going to create more backup channels. I am, of course, on D-Live. I'm hoping that it's working. WitsitGetsIt on D-Live. WitsitGetsIt on Twitch. And then we have Globebusters Activism, which is what this is on, as the backup channel when they censor the other channel. And the Masquerade Tour is continuing, as is the content, so they can kick rocks. Mike Sweeney, thank you much for the donation on Cash App. You're a legend. For great stream last night. Keep crushing. Will do. Thank you very much, brother. We got my man Wayne. Sorry, tithing less this month. Hey, man, you're good, bro. Thank you very much. Much love. Connor, 7 years, my man. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And thank you very much. Very generous. Much love, bro. And then for Yahuwah, thank you, Robel, for the donation. Y'all are all legends. And my man Kevin, who also sent an XRP donation. He said that since you helped me peep game on XRP and I've made some profit, I felt led to share it with you. And thank you very much for that. And thank you for the donation on PayPal. I pray for your well-being and for Most High Lord Yahuwah to watch over you and guide you evermore. Thank you very much, bro. Much love. Always supporting me, and it's much appreciated. It's going to the tour to get the truth out. And if you feel led, support. If you don't think you get to hold it over us or what we do or anything like that. I'd rather not have money from people like that. And now that we've got that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and support this scripturally, because I like to say that New Agers are actually a lot closer to the truth than modern quote-unquote Christians oftentimes. And this is because whenever they start to talk about things like metaphysical power and the kind of thing, is that a Budweiser shirt? Are you kidding me? No, it's a Rainbow Springs State Park shirt. Budweiser. Anyway, so they will say things like acknowledging the metaphysical power that we have, or the connection to the etheric realm, the metaphysical realm. And oftentimes people will try to demonize that or call it witchcraft or something, because they're connected to some of this intuitive power, or more so power that we are to intuitively understand and acknowledge, and in fact learn to harness throughout our life. That is what Yahshua was telling us the entire time. He said, you're amazed by the things that I've done, but you can do greater things than I've done. You can do everything that I've done and greater things, and that with the faith of a mustard seed, you can actually move a mountain. He was being literal. We can move mountains. We just have to harness our metaphysical power. One of the questions I used to get from one of my atheist friends, who is not atheist anymore, but he asked me the question, so, if the creator is real, the creator of the Bible is real, then why would he create the angels knowing, and then create the humans knowing that the angels were just going to come and deceive mankind? Like, wouldn't he just kind of scratch that plan and be like, this is no good? Well, basically, look at it this way. He gave the metaphysical power completely unimpeded to the angels, and some of them abused it, and has the power to create and or destroy. And so now we are in this test of a life in this physical vessel. It's an open book test, though, by the way. I like to always throw that in there. So basically, you have to prove yourself worthy, prove your devotion, and who your allegiance truly lies with. And that once you then grow throughout this life adhering to the instructions, because it's an instruction manual, then you start to gain your metaphysical power. You are then given it unimpeded and in its entire form. Once you have proven yourself to be loyal and to be worthy of it, or more so trustworthy of it. Okay, so that's the truth. New Age is old age. Yes, it is. And ancient civilizations were much more advanced. So there's a little intro for you. So if some of the theologian, churchian people want to start spiraling in the chat, feel free to leave. And there was a disclaimer. It's known to cause gammas to spiral. This is not the saloon for you. No one's got time for that. We are trying to ladle gravy. Some people's biscuits are dry, and we're going to soak them in with some truth here, because there's a lot of power in your tongue. And my man Yahshua told you that you had all kinds of power, and he said you could do what he did. Well, he walked on water, bro. I don't know if you've read the story, but he walked on water. He brought someone back to life from death. He brought sight back to a blind man. He did all kinds of things. He multiplied fish and bread, etc., etc. And he said, you can do all this, but you need to go read the instruction manual. So basically, you're this being with a ton of metaphysical power. It's like you went to the store and you bought like this metaphysical package that you have to learn how to use, and in order to use it, you must open up the instructions. Okay, and that's what Torah literally translates to, the instructions, not the law, but they use the law to demonize the idea that it's like someone pointing down at you like you got to do this and that, when truth is that they're here for our well-being. Just like the Sabbath is a perfect example, right? So our heart doesn't pump blood in this little like physical materialistic confinement definition of anatomy that they've given us in higher academia, which is actually just indoctrination, but in fact it's a battery. Okay, and you circulate, you have an electromagnetic field or an aura that's very real. Once again, New Agers are oftentimes closer to the truth than some of these closed-minded religious people that claim Yahshua, but they of course will almost always call him Jesus. And there is power in that name too. He supersedes semantics, but there's forgiveness and ignorance. Now you know his name was not that, it was Yahshua. And by the end of this stream, maybe you will understand the importance of trying to find out his real name and call him more inside of his name with the proper frequency and the proper vibration, because it's very important and very powerful, and it has domain. So no, I just kind of started hyperspeed on you, but y'all are going to be okay. If this is your first time here, maybe you're taken back. So, boom, Proverbs 18:21, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. And dare I say, the people that are ignorant of it may also eat the fruit, reluctantly or not. So we need to kind of fully grasp what's going on whenever we say things. We say things about ourselves. We say things about other people. So I want to kind of break this down. When you're talking bad about yourself, that means, and you believe it, right? So you have increased the probability of that manifesting because of your intention and your belief. So if you combine thoughts and intention into a singular force, it will manifest in the material world. This has been known for thousands of years, okay? Everyone knew it until this recent deception where people think they advanced, but we're like more primitive and archaic and dumbed down than ever before, which is how you know we are, in fact, in the end, because we are clearly primed for all kinds of deceptions, and we're aimlessly walking around thinking that we're smarter than we are, and it's really pretty pathetic. Can you repeat that again, the instruction part? Well, Torah translates to instruction. That's what it is. It's the instructions. So basically, if you go to the store and you buy like this incredible metaphysical power package, you need to have the instructions so you know how to harness them in. This is what the Torah is. They try to say that it's the law to kind of demonize it, to make it sound like a bad thing or like a set of rules that confine you, when in fact it is in fact the opposite of that. It frees you. It gives you your power. Okay, it frees you from the carnal mind's limited confinement that basically we're being brainwashed into believing. It's an instruction manual. Many times the church, which actually that word translates to circus, but I digress. They'll tell you that the Old Testament doesn't even matter. What does the Old Testament even mean? You know, like who came up with splitting these books up, and why they take so many out? And the first books of the canon is called the Torah. Of course, I took Enoch out. You're supposed to read that before you read the Torah or the current 5 initial books, in my opinion, because it gives you context so that you can actually understand it. So is meditation new age fluff? Does it undo our spiritual programming? Well, it depends on what you're meditating on. So no, there's nothing inherently bad with meditation. There's nothing inherently bad with stretching. But yeah, if you just go read yoga instruction manuals, well, you're not reading the proper instruction manual. See, this is the thing. The entire world has been crafted and engineered so that you will, in fact, utilize your metaphysical power of vibration and frequency from speaking things into existence, the power of the tongue, without fully intellectualizing it or understanding the magnitude of what you're doing. And then they've also got the people that get closer to the truth. They've set up this whole deception that people oftentimes call the new age, so that you don't fully know what you're doing. You don't fully know how to harness it in. It's very simple. Broken geometry, metaphysical reality. And you got some bars, Helio. Why don't you drop a song? All right, so just for anyone who has never seen this, we're going to show them Star in a Jar real fast. And of course, if you don't know, Enoch tells you that the stars are in fact angels. Dare I say, maybe they're singing praises to the one true creator, Yah. And we know that certain vibrations and frequencies within a fluid medium will actually result in light. It's called sonoluminescence. We're going to look at this real fast so y'all can see it for yourself if you've never seen it. I know many of my followers have, but we're just going to not watch that much of it anyway. Bada bing, bada bing. So you got water in a jar. You add certain sound waves, frequencies, and vibrations. It's going to actually turn into light, literally. Yeah, I'm cutting the sound because I just don't want to deal with the grabblers. There you go. Boom. Look at that. Okay, so it turns into a light, like a little bubble, then lights up. There you go. Sonoluminescence. So the whole point of me showing you that is that there is an actual material manifestation based on frequency and vibration that's provable scientifically. It's called cymatics. For example, you can do what's called the rice test, and you say things, phrases and words of love, and you say phrases and words of hate to 2 different bowls of rice, and the bowl of rice that you say hatred towards or speak hatred towards will actually go bad significantly faster. You can also play like, classical music next to water, and it will get sweet to the taste. Okay, and in fact, based on the frequencies, the molecular structure of water changes. So I'll show you some pictures of that a little bit later, but the point is, we need to really fully understand what we're speaking about and what we're saying. We've been engineered to say things like, I'm OCD, and it has this negative context, but oftentimes it's been tied into just truly caring about what you're doing, being a perfectionist as if it's a negative thing. No, if you're going to do something, do it right. Right? That's a positive quality for you to care about something that you're creating, because you are, in fact, blessed with the ability of creation. You're made in the image of Yah. But they've given you these demonization terms so that you speak negatively about positive characteristics, and your belief and intention that they are, in fact, negative are going to make them be negative. They actually are. So it's like, oh, I'm not very strong. I'm not very smart. I can't understand this. Then if you believe that and you speak it into existence, it is going to affect the material world, the material manifestations around you, including your very own vessel. It's just scientifically provable, no big deal. They want you to believe that everything came from nothing and a giant big bang, exploded. And even though it just kicks the necessary antecedent of creation question down the road, because it is saying there's a pre-existing energy, but that everything came from nothing, and this magic deified force that isn't a force that acts like a force where concepts bend, even though it's a reification fallacy, coalesce random rocks and matter into perfect spheres over the course of billions of years, and then lightning strikes primordial soup, and somehow they claim abiogenesis, where organic life stems from inorganic matter, and then eventually some little fish. Let's not even get into the amino acids, how it's literally impossible for that to ever randomly occur. And then the little fish comes out, crawls out after it gets some feet, turns into monkeys eventually, and now here we are. They actually say you come from rats and everything else. So they want you to think you're insignificant and nothing exists outside of the material perceivable world. That is stupid. For example, we know for a fact that we can only perceive with our eyes certain vibrations. You can use infrared to show this. We know there's a huge spectrum that we do not see with our naked eye. That doesn't mean it isn't there, does it? No, because we can prove it's still there. You were actually given what's called protection of the veil. There is a veil that's here for your protection. The Matrix is all about removing this veil, and you think the good guys are actually the people saving the day or trying to help humanity, but they're the bad guys. That entire movie is inverted, as everything ever is. So you were put here with a veil where you only perceive a certain thing of vibration, a certain spectrum, right? So the spectrum is much greater than what you perceive, but it doesn't mean that it's not there just because you don't see it. That's dumb. And of course, not to get too specific, but light itself doesn't have a speed. It isn't a little physical particle that's chaotically bombarding around and then travels from point A to point B. It is nothing more than the perceivable illumination based on the vibration of the medium background, right? So you excite the medium background, the excitation results in illumination. That's what light is. Now, your eyes can only perceive light in that certain spectrum of vibration, but it is not all that is there. There's much more there. You also can't explain intuition with a materialistic confinement, right? With a worldview that's nihilistic and materialistic. You can't explain intuition. You can't explain dreams. You can't explain like gut feelings or instinct. You can't explain knowing someone's about to call you and they call you, or my mom knowing that it's something I got in a car wreck and randomly calling me. You can't explain these things whenever you're confined to the material. That's why they will indeed absorb the fact that there is a metaphysical in the Great Deception, because it is just retarded to think that there is no metaphysical. But anyway, so all right, this is how we're gonna break this down, and then I'm gonna check y'all's chats, and we're gonna slow down a little bit. I have a feeling I'm going a little fast. If y'all have any questions about any of this, hit me. But so here's the deal. The world, the earth, existence itself was spoken into existence, okay? Because vibration and frequency literally manifests as matter. This is a little bit technical in the wording, but Nikola Tesla said that whenever the ether is thrown into prodigious infinitesimal worlds of velocity, it manifests as matter, and when the movement resides, it actually reverts back into the ether, simply being very small, very fast whirls of movement within the ether actually manifests matter, and once that movement stops, then it would go back into the ether. So the ether, under his assessment, is actually or more so the material world is actually the gaseous form of the ether. Matter is ether. It's just within a perceivable version because of the vibration that it's residing within. Okay, so we have a ton of power. We can levitate things. We can make things come in and out of perceivable existence in the material world. We can speak illness into existence, or we can speak healing into existence. We can speak hatred into existence or love into existence. We can speak life into existence, and we can speak death into existence. And the scripture, just the most historically accurate compilation to ever exist, lets you know this. All ancient texts knew this. How else could you even build the pyramids, for example, right? You're going to have to be able to use some type of frequency or vibration that changes the molecular makeup of the giant stones that they move to be able to build it. Who really built it? I don't know. It's a totally different stream. But the point is that word is what created everything, right? The word was in the beginning, and the word was there when everything was created. Then the word became flesh. That is, of course, Yahshua, the one true Messiah. I encourage everyone to get right with him, because no, you don't get to just make up what you think. And all the religions are kind of right, but they're kind of stupid, and they're used for control. All the religions are stupid. All the religions are wrong, and all the religions are used for control. But Yahshua said nothing about religion. He rebuked religion. He rebuked the religious leaders, the Sadducees and the Pharisees, and he said, pick up your cross daily and follow me, Okay, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. So this current movement going around undermining the divinity of Yahshua is laughable, and it is in fact the marker of the Antichrist. That is another stream that I will be doing, because I'm fed up with people undermining the divinity of Yahshua. I'm tired of hearing it. Okay, because that is, then you must not wanted to read his words and actually listen to what he said. Okay. Anyway, the Word became flesh. The Word was there in the beginning. The Word was there when everything was created, because the world that we perceive, the actual existence of everything, was spoken into existence. And the Word was there, and then the Word became flesh. And the Word became flesh and gave us a perfect exemplification of what it is to follow the instructions properly and reside within that perfect vibration. You yourself are a vibration. So when people say that you have like you're basically a light being, there is some truth to that, because light itself is nothing more than a certain spectrum of perceivable illumination within the spectrum of vibration. That's all it is. Or more so, perceivable spectrum of vibration that results in illumination. I'm not trying to get too wordy, but I'm just trying to make the point very specific. When the medium that you can't see with the naked eye shakes up and vibrates, it gets excited, okay? And it illuminates to your eye. That's how we perceive it. That's why the non-locality of light isn't some phenomena that's just super perplexing that we can't understand. It's like, yeah, you don't perceive things unless you're looking at it. Your eyes were made a certain way to perceive it. And there is no like speed of light. Light is instant. It's everywhere. It's all around you. It's just that medium that's all around you being vibrated in the proper way that you can see it. That's why, bang, now we have just decreased the amount of energy that is being introduced into the ether, into the background medium that's vibrating. Okay, now we have energy being introduced again, and now it's vibrating again. That's all it is. That's all it is. Everything's about vibration and frequency. So if you're following me, then your words, of course, are that very thing. That's what a sound wave is. It's a frequency. It's a vibration. And of course, this is also how Nikola Tesla found out exactly what some of the characteristics of the ether was. And he says it's at least 1,000 times more dense than the medium that we perceive or the air that we breathe, because of the efficacy of the travel of sound waves, and that we know that density is proportionate to the efficacy of propagation. Scripture is to be interpreted by the Spirit. Yeah, the carnal mind cannot fully understand the Scriptures. That's not exactly right. Scripture calls itself a religion. It's all other religions Yahshua rebuked. Religion is man-made doctrine, so I don't know any Hebrew word that translates to religion, so I would have to be enlightened on that one. And the people at the top of Big Pharma know they're doing it wrong. Yeah, of course. Pharmacy, pharmakia, sorcery. You're being deceived. And 18:23 in Revelations tells you that the merchants on the earth were great men, and for by thy sorceries were all the nations deceived. It tells you in the end everyone's deceived by medicine. So maybe we should take a step back when we decide to put some type of inoculation in us that genetically modifies us, allegedly. 369. Yeah, Tesla said everything comes down to 369. We were talking about that earlier, actually, with the man who's a legend, Chris is a legend. Shout out. They've been ladling gravy all day, because you got to come to teach and learn. And I've had a really cool last couple of days. Y'all's definitely working right now. Everyone be patient. If we go without a stream a day or something like that, there's a reason for it. Trust me. It's always said that men would trample New Jerusalem underfoot, Austin. I'm not sure the application or relevance of that. So anyway, I guess really my point here is that the scriptures tell you that life and death are in the tongue. So let me kind of break this down and maybe not go so fast, okay? So when you say something about yourself and you truly believe it, it has a lot of power, because you've combined thought and intention into a certain vibration, okay? So don't say negative things about yourself. Stop convincing yourself of negative things. Now, sometimes the reason that we believe these negative things is because we were indoctrinated at a young age, and unbeknownst even to the people that love us most, but they're typically the most guilty of it. If you're singing, I read a book in whenever I went through my situation, and it tells a story of, like, say a mom goes to work and she's having a really bad day at work. She comes home and she's just not feeling good, and she's just tired and fed up. And she hears her daughter, who's just like loving life, having the time of her life, just singing and enjoying herself and jumping around singing. And she says, "Shut up. You don't even have a good voice anyway. I'm not trying to hear that," because she had a headache. She was getting a headache because her daughter was singing, because she was in a bad mood. That stuck with her daughter forever. She stopped singing, never sang again, and truly believes that her voice sucks because her mom, who loves her more than anyone else, told her that her voice sucks. right? So oftentimes it's just like we've been domesticated as humans. We're raised as with a punishment reward system, just like we do with animals, right? Like go get the ball, sit down, here's a treat. So you get punished or you get rewarded. And then we agree to these things. We accept these agreements, and then we believe them and we speak them into existence. So we carry these like indoctrination terms and phrases and ideas with us into our adulthood, and we sincerely believe them. We wholeheartedly hold them to be true, and therefore they are true. They are true because you've spoken them into existence and that you believe them, and that belief and intention actually causes the vibration to be a certain way. That's why whenever everyone's at a concert and they don't realize that actually in reverse they're casting spells, it's not super powerful because those people don't know exactly what they're doing, right? But still, it does hold power. So let's think about it then. So let's use the TV, for example, that emits frequencies, right? I don't watch TV. It's dumb, okay? I don't watch TV anymore. I've had a flat screen in my house for years. I haven't turned it on in years. So, but when you hear, like I'd wake up in the slave trade and I would hear like the news on every morning, and I would feel like physically sick to my stomach. It emits frequencies, right? Like literal frequencies that are affecting your physical makeup. And if you go, there are people that wake up every morning, they go sit down and they watch it. And like if you go do that and you believe what's on there and you get wrapped up in those frequencies, you're making them real. You're making them have physical effect on you. Although almost everything on the news is propaganda, as is declassified with Operation Mockingbird for many, many decades, and all the news anchors are agents, and they just basically admitted that under oath. But the point is that the TV is one of the most dangerous weapons ever created, and this is not just ideologically or metaphorically or symbolically. It's literally a physical weapon that affects your material makeup. Okay. And as you wonder why so many people have cancer, well, you're eating all kinds of disgusting things. You're not praying over your food. You're not right with Yahshua so that no weapon shall prosper. And you're constantly being flooded with radiation, but you don't have the protection of this very supernatural electromagnetic aura that strengthens the closer you get to Yahshua. The more you humble yourself, the more that you want to know the truth, the more that you want to get close to Yah. Okay. And it isn't specifically like, oh, you got to know exactly all of the details of how Yahshua. It's about your intention. It's about your heart. Do you want to know the truth? Are you willing to accept Yahshua if he is the truth? If you're not, because you think you already know everything, then no, dare I say, you're not good. You're not good to go, bro. You know, your intention is what matters, and your intention is what creates the actual frequency and vibration in which you state things. So we need to watch what we say. So when you say things and you believe it, they affect you. Now, whenever you say things negative to other people, okay, you've effectively casted a spell onto them, right? But the spell does not just automatically have power or domain over them. They must accept it via belief. Now, oftentimes people have intellectual insecurities, like most of the Globe Zealot Gamma trolls that hit me up all the time, and they say that I'm stupid. This is because they have intellectual insecurity. They're self-projecting, right? Now, if someone walks up to that person and they hear them talking and they say, bro, wow, you're dumb, bro. Like, you're stupid. And they actually have that intellectual insecurity, right? Where they believe that they're stupid. They've heard it, then they've accepted it and believed it, effectively signing a contract with it. They've signed a contract with that person that cast a spell onto them. So stop talking negatively about people if you can help it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to talk negatively about people. And honestly, I need to help. I need to work on that myself when it comes to some of these people that constantly attack me and swarm me, and I'm just get fed up with them and I clap back. But there is, of course, a time for righteous indignation. So I've been shown quite a few things over those 18 days. And one of them is that we need to be much more patient, right? And we need to hear people out. Even when people are saying things we know to be wrong and stupid, let them get it out, right? And a gentle word turns away wrath and anger. And so just respond gently. Now, there's a time for righteous judgment. There's a time for righteous anger and righteous indignation. And I'm currently trying to deal with that myself, in which I'm wanting to take the high road with a certain situation that most people know about. And I'm just trying to pray for discernment and clarity as to, well, are you basically asking me to like expose someone? Like, I don't know. But so there is a time in which you must speak the truth. You must not sugarcoat things. You must not bite your tongue when you know you're supposed to speak up. There is a thin line here. Okay. There is not walk around and just be a little like punching bag. No. And if you aren't familiar, Yahshua was pretty clearly not some like soft dude that walked around. Entire crowds of people converged on him and he made it out. He walked in and flipped tables more than once, okay, for selling in the place of worship, which of course almost all these quote unquote churches do now. So basically what we're being shown is that we are in the end. This is very important that we start to detach from Babylon, come out of her, and start to realize the metaphysical power you have. And how are you going to be able to harness that? You're going to have to get right with the instructions. You need the instruction manual. But I'd like to eat bacon. Okay, cool, bro. Then you don't get your power, because it's not like, I'm not saying like, if you ever eat bacon, you're not going to have power. I'm just saying like the mindset you would have to think that I just can't give up bacon no matter what. The creator's dumb. He doesn't know he's talking about bacon's good. It's like, it's the mentality. It's a spiritual mentality that you are approaching the instructions with that is limiting you. It's a test. Life's a test, but it's an open book test. You have no excuses. Are you going to be the person that sits in class while everyone just going through the chapters and getting all the answers, and you just refuse to pull your textbook out? Or you left it in your locker and you just didn't read it? It's an open book test, bro. You have no excuses. And if you pray and seek it, you'll find it. So like, what's the excuse? What's the excuse? And if you don't read these instructions, don't understand the importance in harnessing your metaphysical power, then you'll certainly not fully understand your metaphysical power, right? And dare I say that really, as a human, you're not going to ever perfectly harness it, but we're supposed to be in a process of constant refinement and growth where we're able to eventually manage our power. That's what the whole thing is. That's what Yahshua was telling everyone. He's like, dude, you have a lot of power, bro. And like, you're amazed with what I'm doing, but no, I'm just showing you how to do the instructions perfectly. And he was the Word become flesh, and the Word was there when everything was created. Okay, so it was spoken into existence. You speak things into existence. That's not some kooky woo-woo metaphysical new age deception of evil sorcery and wizardry and witchcraft. No, it can be used for those things, and oftentimes it is, but it's very real. It's very, very real. See, Lucifer cannot create. He can only imitate and invert, and that is what he is doing. So let's talk about some of the things, right? So we have the TV, one of the biggest weapons ever, sending out frequencies. Well, of course, they tell you with the very terminology you use what it is, because you turn to certain channels. Well, what else do you channel? You're channeling like metaphysical power, whether it be good or bad. You can create or destroy. There's life or death. Okay, and of course, because the antecedent is reciprocation for almost anything that exists, that it has to. Any type of energy must reciprocate or it can't exist. It's that simple. Okay, and so you channel. Oh, they're programming you. While you program, it tells lies to your vision. Okay, because your vision, and it's not just talking about your two eyes. You of course have your pineal gland, which is like another eye that's there, and it perceives a whole different spectrum of vibration. That's what you're utilizing whenever you go to sleep. You're not seeing something that's just completely not real. It's once you get into that metaphysical realm, the power of creation is unimpeded. Okay, so yeah, you can lucid dream. Yeah, you can create things in the metaphysical realm, like that's what it is. And in my opinion, right, what I think in speculation will happen in the end is the veil will be removed, and when the veil's removed, basically it'll be like Jumanji. Right? Only what's creating it's not a board game, it's people's minds and people's fear and what people say and people's hatred. Yeah, of course it's going to get terrible in the end. It's going to be horrific because people don't know the instructions. They're nowhere close to harnessing in their metaphysical power, but it will be unimpeded. People will long for death and it will flee them. Well, so Bird Box, that infamous movie where you're wearing the blindfold, right? And everyone is in the end isn't, and they take the blindfold off the people to force them to see. They're forcing you to see into the etheric metaphysical realm beyond the veil. The believers still have the veil of protection, and that's what's represented there. And then there are the people that go around and can see it, and they love it. That's the enemy and the enemy's little minions that go around and try and pull everyone's veil off. So my point is, when you go beyond this veil, you have a lot of power. So you have a lot of power in your dreams. You have a lot of power when you speak things in the physical world. They have a metaphysical reciprocation. So you have to understand that. So stop talking negatively about yourself. And sometimes you have to break these agreements that we've kind of been subconsciously engineered to have via the way society is set up. So you have to replace these agreements with positive, and with truth, and with love, and with Yahshua and his words, and the scriptures, the word itself, and the word became flesh. He gave us a perfect example, a living, breathing example of what to do. It's very simple. I completely agree, bro. Dope. Be transferred by renewing of your mind. Take thoughts captive to the obedience of Yahshua. Because Christ is just a title. But yeah, no doubt. We have the mind of Yahshua. Yes, we do, but we have to be able to harness it. And that's pretty much what it comes down to. And you're not going to ever be able to harness it if you think you've already got it all figured out, right? I think that's kind of like the main thing. Like most people think that they've got it like all figured out and they have nothing to learn. And like now they're good to go and they get whatever they want. And it's like, well, no, like that's kind of the opposite of what it is. You must always be willing to learn and heed correction and update based on the instructions and a better, more accurate interpretation of the instructions. And this requires guidance from the Spirit because the carnal mind cannot understand it and the heart is most susceptible beyond all things. So there's tons of power in your tongue. Cymatic proves that. There's a material power in your tongue. Like cymatics scientifically proves it for those people that just can't think outside of this little confinement of let's bottle everything up. Can't beat a river into submission, flow, surrender, and rejoice. Nice. Oh, I just figured you were here too. I've been chatting on D-Live this whole time. Oops. Oh, yeah, sorry. I haven't actually looked at D-Live. Let me come over here. Bang, bang. But, yeah. Oh, so I'm going to tell you a pretty cool thing. I mean, yeah, I think y'all get it.
Ask him if he will be on our show.
Whoa, shut up. Shut up. Sorry about that. That was incredibly lame. This broadcaster has indicated that this is for mature audiences. My vivid, uncontrollable dreams feel like Yah is sending me a message. Hey, man, that happens, bro. That happens. And I'm going to say this really hard. I don't want to go into too much detail right here, but the smoking bud thing, dude, I think you're showing me for real, like, bro, chill. And you have very vivid dreams whenever you don't mess with substances. So check that out. Think about it. You're able, basically, you're not fogging up and muddying the waters of your frequencies and your antenna that receives the frequency. So now he can communicate with you more thoroughly. And the whole idea is to find a way to somehow water it down. Which is a legend. Thanks, bro. Much love. Shout out to Alberta Bear for the donations. Thank you for the lemons. And Sniper Bear, thank you for the lemons. Much love, Golden Stream. Thank you, man. So I just want everyone to be more attentive. Like, don't just try to be really patient and not clap back on people. And I'm still working on that, but I learned that a lot in jail. Like whenever I was locked up for the plant that grows out of the ground. So like, you know, I was taught a lot of things, and in recollection, I feel like it all happened for a reason, and I was supposed to be there, and I was supposed to learn things, and I was supposed to reach some of the people that I reached there. And one of the things that I was definitely shown is to, here you go, here's like 30 people from all different walks of life. They're definitely going to have their guard up. They don't trust anybody. No one in here trusts anybody, and they've been railroaded and forgotten about by the system that is the beast system, and they don't even hide it because the people that enforce it wear a pentagram on their chest. So, you know, I had to learn, like, these people have a whole bunch of baggage. And what it comes down to is, do you just want to be able to beat on your chest and be like, I won that debate, I showed them how smart I was? Or do you actually want to reach them? Do you actually want to change someone's life? Because if you actually want to change someone's life and reach them and then bring them to the truth of Yahshua, it shouldn't just be about the earth. You should tell them about the earth so they can get right with the Creator, so that they can prepare and be adequately prepared for the pending deception. You should. It's about your intention. Do you just want to record it and be able to brag about how you won a debate, or do you really want to reach those people? I don't document many of my interactions, like 90% of them, because that's not what it's about. I'm trying to reach them, and what we have to find out how to get better at as people is relating to them. And we can't relate to them if we don't allow them to fully express where they're coming from, and then the Spirit can actually help you understand intuitively where they're coming from, and then you'll be able to resonate with them, or at least get it to where they resonate with you and can be receptive. Okay, you have to be able to send the right frequency to their antenna. And if you're sending hatred and all these negative phrases and terms with hatred flooding like everything you say to people, you're casting these spells on the people, and the most vulnerable will be much more receptive of them, because they already have some insecurity underlining some of these negative things that you're saying. And stop saying it about yourself. Say positive things about yourself, positive reinforcing things, and truly believe them. And replace the negative agreements we've been engineered to believe and cast on ourselves with positive reinforcing agreements. And trust me, you can utilize this with or without Yahshua, but I strongly encourage you doing it the right way with Yahshua. It's going to be 100 times more powerful. You're going to be on the right side of the one true Creator and His Son, the Word that became flesh. And yeah, He told you, if you saw me, you saw the Father. He straight up told, he said that he had the ability to give salvation. That doesn't sound like some dude that has no divinity to me. So don't worry. I'm fed up with hearing about it, and there is a stream coming soon that's going to just completely refute that. Because please stop just saying things because you hear someone else say it. And a lot of people know who's really responsible for getting that notion out to people over the last few months. Okay, stop saying it. Stop saying it just because you heard someone say it. You know that he never said that he was God. You know that he never said he was divine. Who said he was divine? He was just a person. You know what it says in the scriptures? That's actually the telltale sign of the Antichrist spirit. Okay, so I don't want to go too much on a tangent about that right now, but I will be doing a stream about that. I'm fed up with it. I'm tired of hearing about it. So basically, there's power in the tongue. There's power in assertion. Assertion isn't bad. You know, weak-minded people misinterpret aggression and misinterpret assertion for aggression. But assertion's good, and you're to be as bold as a lion, bro. Like stand up and speak the truth. Seek and speak truth unequivocally. You know, do not partake in darkness, but rather reprove and expose it. Okay, so that is what we have to do. My man Chris is just gonna start snoring on the stream. All right, maybe you got it. Anyway, hello Austin. Why, hello Carl. I will read the donations off at the end. Let's see if I got a few more things. So, oh yeah. So, why does the rainbow show us that the earth will never flood again? Right? Why? Why does it show us that? Oh, it's just a pretty arc in the sky, and he just told us that that's what it means. No, he's giving you literal physical evidence that it's not going to flood again. Okay, because of course an antecedent to a rainbow is a reflective surface. So we have the firmament above us creating the rainbow objectively. And so when we have this rainbow and we see in the sky, that means that the firmament's there. Okay, well, what happened during the flood? The windows up above opened up. Okay, so parts of the firmament opened up and it flooded the earth. Now, he said, I promise I won't flood the earth anymore. Well, then you have the firmament. Every time you see a rainbow, well, there's your reassurance. There's your affirmation that the firmament's still there. You have nothing to worry about. It's not opening up and flooding again. Look, the rainbow right there, the dome's still there. The firmament's still there. You can see it. That's how you know it's still there. So don't you worry. It's not opening up. It's not going to flood again. It's literal physical evidence to keep the reassurance that it won't be flooded again. I thought that was pretty awesome. I've had a whole bunch of revelations, but I don't want to scattergun too much. I'm going to keep this stream short because I'm tired. Tomorrow is my birthday. I'm not like huge on like birthday celebrations whenever you're just all about pride and ego and yourself and like, let's have a party and a cake with candles and all this other pagan nonsense where you're just obsessed with self and self this and self that. But I do turn 29 tomorrow, and I think that 30 is an important age. I think that Yah's doing a lot of things in my life right now, and he's working on me and showing me a lot of things. And I just need to keep learning and keep growing. And he's telling me to keep going on the tour, which I actually didn't want to do. Whenever I was locked up, I was like, I'm out. I'm exhausted. Like, I want to go back home. But I got numerous confirmations that, in fact, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. So I will show you all this while I'm thinking about it. I have to airdrop it, though. So, yeah, I'll stay on here a little past, like, 12. So who better to spend the first few minutes of my birthday with than the homies, the day ones, the real ones that came and found me on this channel, even though they're censoring me, and then came to kick it. Thank you for all the happy birthday wishes. Much love. Y'all are awesome. I'll read the donations at the end. Don't think I'm going to forget you guys. Okay, so I woke up and my stream was gone. I was really frustrated, and I was just like, wow, are you kidding me? Like, how man, like I got all these bills. I got like freaking the $4,000 I have to pay back still from the lawyer, and like, oh my, there's like, how am I even gonna get the word out there? How am I gonna keep speaking and speaking the truth like I feel like I'm led to do? How am I gonna keep getting content out there and getting the word out there and documenting it? And how am I even gonna keep the income coming in so that we can, I can pay for the tour, I can pay for my bills back home, and then I can pay for those legal expenses that I still owe, like most of. And I just was real frustrated, and honestly I felt stupid because I'm tripping about money, and I should just have faith and trust and know that he's going to provide. I'm definitely being tested to the extreme with that. And so I was just really frustrated, more so like as my first stream back after months of them censoring, by going back like 2-3 months and censoring my streams and striking me repetitively. Like they were just never going to let me come back. So I was getting like real frustrated. Like it was only up for 6 hours and we were up like 7 in the morning and it's freaking gone. I couldn't even go read the comments or anything. So I was just not very happy about it. And then I went and checked my Cash App. So what I do is I let my bank account go like all the way down, and my bank account, is pretty abysmal right now. So it was like so low and I was just really tripping. And then but I've been letting the Cash App build up like since before I went in and everything. So I went to check the Cash App. I got a donation. So I saw the new donation, and then as it went away, this is right after I found out my stream was struck and I was tripping about it. Look at what the total was on the donation. So you can't make it up. Right when I was tripping, there you go. That's the total that's compiled from like numerous donations over a long time. Not a long, like a crazy long time, but like over a good period of time, numerous different compilation of numerous different donations, and the total is literally $777.00. So I immediately knew, like, he's telling me like stop freaking out, calm down, I got you. And that's a pretty awesome thing. So I'm good. I'm not freaking out, and everything happens for a reason. We're continuing the tour. I'm going to wrap it up. I'll read some of your chats. Happy birthday. Thank you for all the happy birthdays. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Thank you, man. Yeah, it is definitely a pretty awesome thing. Okay, cool. We're caught up on everything. In a world, confirmations, yes, exactly. And I've had a few confirmations I told him about in the comeback stream, which I guess is actually not even up on DLive or anything now. So follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and so I can let y'all know like exactly the information when it comes to me creating the Odyssey account. And I'll be going live once or twice a day on here, so y'all can keep up with me there. And I do have a BitChute. So I'll start uploading all the videos, and I'll upload the other video I did when I first came back, so that everyone can kind of catch up and keep up, and then they'll know where to find the content, because you know how that goes and you know how they work when they take things down. There you go. So I just want to keep the stream short. I'm already like tired, and I want to figure out where we're going and get set up and chilled. Yeah, and then I'm just going to chill for my birthday tomorrow. I'll do some streams, of course. Like I said, I'm not just like really obsessed with the birthday thing, but I really want to take it in and try to take it in reverence. Like, I'm 29, and I think 30 is a significant birthday. It's time to like really understand that to whom much is given, much is expected, and maybe I'm about to be entrusted with a bunch of responsibility, and I gotta step up to the plate and really like take care of business. And I just I want to really like knock it out this next year, where I'm fully ready to do everything that I'm supposed to do, and I just kind of want to fully grasp the magnitude of that tomorrow, and like a chill day where I chill with like my familia, and my familia being fellow believers. So we're probably going to go up to St. Petersburg and chill with some fellow believers. And there you go. So thanks to everybody for kicking it. And wait, I will show y'all this also, just for those that don't know. So I told everyone a long time ago, that they should invest in XRP. This is not financial advice, and that it would actually bump up after a lot of the other cryptocurrencies bumped up in the bull run, but that it was the best token that exists. It's 1,000 times faster and cheaper than Bitcoin. That it's working with regulation as opposed to subversively trying to find its way around it. That it had all kinds of deals with government agencies all around the world. That the Eastern world was already just basically running with it full force. That they were going to shake out the retail investors by pulling something off where everyone got real nervous and it would drop. Sure enough, they did that. Then whenever they said that SEC was filing a lawsuit, And then Coinbase said by January 19th, we're not going to buy or sell anymore. Or we're not going to allow you to buy or sell and trade anymore when it comes to XRP. I told everyone then on the stream, like, okay, guys, like, do not sell and freak out because they're just trying to shake out the small retail investment while the big whales make a lot of money and they're buying it all up on the low. Just don't freak out and take your XRP out. I know that many of you did, though, and I told you not to. And there you go. It is what it is. Now, of course, it's having a crazy bull run right now. And I told everyone to invest at 17 cents. And now we are at, just a second. And still just hold on to it and don't freak out. $182 at the moment. It's gone up 26% today, 70% almost in the last week. So there you go. I mean, whatever, dude. So it's going to keep going up. Maybe you want to get in the red, not in the green. You don't really want to invest on a 30% day. But hey, I don't know how fast it's going to keep popping up. It's going to keep popping up is the best one. I really don't like to even talk about cryptocurrency. I told everyone which one to get. So hold it to the end. It's a long-term investment. It's going to keep going up. Don't freak out if it pops down and corrects some. Look at how much it's gone up. It's natural with the volatility of a speculative market that it goes down some. Of course, it's not financial advice. I unfortunately didn't really have any money to invest in it. I did at one point have like 16,000 XRP at the low buy-in when I was initially telling everyone about it. Then I had some unexpected expenses like my truck messing up and stuff like that, where I had to pull money out and fix everything and catch up on bills and all this stuff. I had to take all the money out. But it is what it is. I told a lot of people in advance, and hopefully I at least got to utilize the knowledge and the research I did on it to help others out. And I hope that some of you listened. So there you go. And of course, my suggestion would be that whenever it does really take off in the bull run, like be patient, hold out, and then turn it into tangibility of wealth. There you go. I'm going to read, I'm just going to check and see if we got any donations, and then I'm going to go to sleep, bro. I'm tired. All right, bang. No donations. We're good. Anyone that sends any donations between now and then, I'll read them at the beginning of the stream like I did today. And yeah, that's cool. It's just an hour stream, but like I said, I've told you like 3 times at this point that I am pretty tired and that tomorrow's my birthday, so I kind of just want to chill. I don't want to like do a stream till like 2 in the morning, I'm not going to read that. All right, cool. Yeah. I appealed the medical misinformation strike on my channel, so we'll see when they respond or how they respond, but they always like try to reject my appeals and they suck. So we'll see how that goes, but they're not going to stop me because y'all told me to keep going, so that means I'm going to keep going. That's what it really all comes down to. That's the most important thing, and I've got numerous confirmations. I had an awesome conversation tonight. I think I'm being shown some stuff about the 7 years, like when y'all originally told me, like, it was like a thought that was reoccurring, and I was like, I can't even control my own thoughts. What's going on? It's like, oh, I'm like mad about it. It's like, we're in the end, and I want to use you over and over and over. And then I said the prayer, asked for undeniable sign. He gave me one. And then this is, of course, it's only going to resonate for those with eyes to see and ears to hear. But that really happened. For those that don't know my testimony, it's on my channel numerous times, or maybe I'll cover one that's specifically about that. I'll do a stream specifically about that at one point. But yeah, I was getting confirmations, and at the same time, I kept hearing 7 years, and I didn't know what it meant. Well, when I was locked up, I had to like beg for a Bible, and I went to the kiosk and I typed to the chaplain like, please, can I get a copy of the Bible, preferably KJV, because I knew that's not they're gonna have like the scriptures version or anything. And they actually brought a Bible like 3 days later. I like jumped up like really excited, like a child in a candy store. I don't like using the word kid because kids are baby guts, and they're actually used to describe rambunctious children, and it was a way to kind of refer to them as something to do with Baphomet. So let's try our best to like get out of these systems where we say words that we don't understand what they mean. Like, for example, Taco Bell, you're saying bell, and it says think outside the box, and of course it tells you that there are corners of the earth, and there's a circle within it. Think outside the box, think outside the firmament, outside of the earth, right? bell, 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 bell. So just start to kind of realize what it is that they're telling you, what they're saying. Words are important, right? Again, they tell you that you're channeling things. You spell words. You write in cursive, right? Curses. You say curse words. So just try to fall back on the spells and the curses and realize the power in your tongue. Make sure your intention is pure. Reign in the power of your tongue, because once again, there's power of life and death in the tongue, and he who loves it will eat of the fruit. So I just want everyone to realize that they're very metaphysically powerful, and that's the whole thing. And let's just start to use to or find out how to properly utilize it, and to speak love and life, and to speak truth, and to understand that this is how everything came into being. The word was there in the beginning. The entire existence itself was spoken into existence. That's why we have what we have, and the word became flesh, the perfect vibration. And there is power in the name of Yahshua or Yahusha HaMashiach. Okay, there's a lot of power, and it has domain in the metaphysical realm, and they don't want you to know that, and they've known about this for a long time. So we need to get back to harnessing his true name and the Creator's true name, and doing the best that we can to properly pronounce it, and not just blindly just go down swinging out of arrogance, saying I want to keep calling him Jesus Christ or God or Lord. And again, there's nothing inherently wrong with it or anything like that. No, he doesn't want you to be legalistic about it or anything, but depending on where you are in your journey, he wants us to keep growing. Okay, he doesn't want us to just stop. It's not up to us when we decide that we want to stop growing and stop learning. We need to keep growing. It requires humility. And if you think you already have it all figured out, if you're going around just constantly trying to preach to people, but you never want to hear the other side of the story, when iron's supposed to sharpen iron, you can't humble yourself, and you're going around preaching. And I'm just, it is when women are always trying to preach down and talk down to men that are believers. Like, women aren't supposed to preach and usurp authority over believers that are men. We need to kind of start to get back into the natural order of thing, and it's Yah, man, woman, child. That's what it is, and we need to just figure everything out, and we need to be able to detach from Babylon and grow our own food and have our own water supply and keep everyone safe and protected, and provide and protect for women. And people need to just kind of humble themselves and learn that you come to teach and to learn, and that we're being revealed numerous things, and we were revealed the truth about the earth recently. The book of Enoch resurfaced in a small Ethiopian tribe, and of course Enoch is pretty clearly divine scripture, and Yahshua referred to it as scripture. It's in the second to last book in the canon, Jude, which like the seventh from Adam prophesies, and then it quotes Enoch verbatim. So we need to start to figure out some of these big truths, because they're going to only begin to get even crazier. They're going to increase in basically what we would consider to be crazy ideas. Like, they're going to increase in the amount that they baffle you, right? And so we need to be prepared for that. Happy birthday. Thank you, Bob. And thank you, Michael on. Wait, I'm confused. Who's controlling this? I don't know what you're talking about, Isaac. Thanks for this. Happy birthday. Good night. Thank you. Much love. All right, guys. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. And yeah, like I said, I'll read off whatever donations are between now and the next stream tomorrow. I'll read them off at the beginning of the stream, and then during that stream, I'll read them all the stream donations during the stream at the end. Y'all know that's what I'm going to typically always do. I'm going to start doing morning and night streams. Not going to stop us. So follow me on DLive, WitsitGetsIt. Follow me on Twitch, WitsitGetsIt. Follow me on YouTube, WitsitGetsIt, and follow Glowbusters Activism on WitsitGetsIt. Smash the notification bell. Kind of stay up to date with it, because they'll try to take it off. Instagram, WitsitGetsIt. Austin Witsit on Facebook. That way y'all can stay updated with everything. MasqueradeTour.com is another way that you can keep up with the tour. It'll tell you the most recent stream. It'll tell you our location, and then it will tell you different ways to support, donate, and to contact. And we're going to be uploading different observation images and pictures, etc., in that section of the website as well. So that is masqueradetour.com. There it is. And of course, typical $ WitsitGetsIt on Cash App, patreon.com/WitsitGetsIt, and witsit@protonmail.com on PayPal. Thank you very much in advance for all the support, and I love you guys, and I know that we're good, and everything's just going to continue to get better and more productive. We're going to really make a true impact, because Yah is protecting me right now, and he's blessing me, and he's showing me things, and he's revealing things to me at an insane rate. I was sitting there talking. I knew I was supposed to sit there and talk to Chris for a long time tonight, and it was awesome. So sorry that I didn't do the stream till later. Sorry that I'm kind of tired. But again, understand there's power in the tongue. There's power of life and death in the tongue, and he who loves it will eat of the fruit. And the person that may not know of it doesn't mean they won't be eating of the fruit, maybe just unbeknownst to them or out of ignorance. Understand you have power in your words and your vibrations and frequencies that come out of your very mouth that literally can affect everything in the material world. The perceivable material world can be and is, literally physically affected by what you speak into existence. And when you speak something negative into existence about yourself, about your life, and you believe it, or you live in fear and you speak out of fear, you can in fact start to speak negative things into existence. Now, can you control everyone else with your words? No, you cannot. No, you cannot. But you can cast spells on the people if they're not spiritually equipped, if they're not right with Yahshua, and they believe in any way that is true or accept it or believe it with their intentions and beliefs. Then they can, in fact, then sign a contractual agreement with you to accept the black spell, the magic that you've cast onto them. We need to realize that these aren't just crazy woo-woo, cuckoo, kooky, like new age things. The new age, quote unquote, has just kind of taken them. So Yahshua was telling us about this, and there's an instruction manual in which we can harness all of this. Let's get back to the Torah, where in which we can harness this metaphysical power. It's a gift, okay? Like, oh, you have to rest once a week because your heart's a literal magnetic battery, and he knows that it needs to charge. Your battery every week needs to charge and just to chill and rest. Like, he knows what's right. He knows what's good. He made you. He knows what it is that will give you your metaphysical power. So that's what it is. And of course, he made this earth for you, and it's beautiful, and it's the center of everything. And it does appear that the stars are pretty clearly angels, and the reason that they illuminate is because they are maybe, I don't know, singing praises, but they're emitting frequencies and vibrations in a fluid-like medium, which I showed you at the beginning. Star in a jar, sonoluminescence would result in illumination. And then, of course, I also told you that light is nothing more than an excitation of the background medium itself, and it's a perceivable spectrum of the vibration that your eyes were created to only perceive a certain portion of, and that's for your protection also. And in the end, that veil will be removed, and people will then be given their metaphysical power before they're ready. You're not ready until you pass a test, and it's an open book test, and you progress through it by getting back with the instruction manual that gives you the very instructions on how to harness your power. But they're going to rip that veil, and people are going to start manifesting their fears, because now that's what happens in your dreams when you lucid dream and you think of all these things, or then you have a crazy dream and it happens. You have more power than you realize, and that third eye can see it. What happens when your other two eyes can see it and you're not ready for it, and you don't have the seal of Yah, and you're not prepared, which actually will keep the veil maybe even where you can't see it. But the truth is, you're going to start to see basically Jumanji, but not with a board game, but with people's fears and with people's ability to manifest when they're not ready to harness it and they don't fully understand their power. That's my opinion. It's a speculation. Of course, I don't know exactly that it's going to turn to Jumanji of the mind, but of course, what is that movie trying to allude to? We need to prepare ourselves to fully understand the metaphysical power that we have, and we need to be able to harness it and utilize it as a weapon to protect us, protect and provide for children and women and the weak around us. Yeah, it's that time. It's that time. It's game time, guys. It's like, stop playing patty cake. It's like, it's time to put your big boy pants on and realize that, like, we are clearly in the season of the end, and how long that is, I don't know, but we need to just be ready for it. Okay, we need to be ready to stand up, certainly as men, and utilize these powers that we have. And if we can't figure out the power we have in the tongue, whenever you can like scientifically demonstrate it in the physical material world with cymatics, how are you going to be able to wrap your mind around some of these spiritual principles that are much deeper, that are going to be revealed in the near future? Because the flat earth, the geocentric stationary earth, that's provable, and literally the only way that we could exist was revealed for a certain reason. Okay, Enoch was revealed for a certain reason. These were getting us really like ready, like, whoa, we were lied to about the very nature of where we live our entire life, and everyone thinks it's something that it's not, and it was literally inverted and everything is backwards. That's a crazy red pill to take. That's because you're shattering the current worldview that you have, so that you can be equipped to take in some of these other truths that are probably going to make that one look like it's not very big. And that might blow your mind right now. Trust me, it's hard for me to wrap my mind around it, but the deception will be so great that if it were possible, then the very elect will be deceived. So there you go. Sorry, I'm tired, but when I get tired, I kind of just get to go in hyperspeed. I love you guys. Seek and speak truth unequivocally, and that couldn't be more applicable to a stream than this stream. I love you guys. Let me see what we got here. Yeah, okay. So yeah, seek and speak truth unequivocally. The weak find contentment in the consensus of ignorance. And throughout all history, the weak-minded people gather together, and they find a way to somehow subversively try to attack the stronger, independent thinkers, wear that as a badge of honor, never back down, and do not partake in darkness, but rather reprove it and expose it to the light, expose it to the truth, and hold steadfast and prove all things to be true, and reign in the power of your tongue, because there's a power of life and death in the tongue. So I'll catch up with y'all tomorrow. I told you all the platforms. I'll go live on here. I'm sure that I won't hear back from the pill, but maybe I will. Maybe we'll be blessed with that. And tomorrow's my birthday, so I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I'll probably still hit y'all with a couple streams, because like I said, I'm not like just really tripping about like the day I came out the womb when I was conceived 9 months before that, and my creator said that he knew me before I was even in the womb. So I love you guys. I'll catch up with you later. Sorry it's not a super long stream, but I'm kind of tired. And until then, peace out.